Hey guys, it's Leo, and it's time to talk about episode 15 of HUGTTO PRECURE. If you've watched some of my videos, you know that when I wear this t-shirt, it's game on, girl. So I'm wearing this because episode 15 it's among the best episodes of Precure ever. I'm not talking about HUGTTO only, I'm talking about the whole franchise. This episode is definitely it's easy. It's easy to say. It's the best HUGTTO episode so far and one of the best Precure episodes ever. I loved this episode. I loved the change of pace. I loved the sense of humor. I loved how fast paced it was. The jokes were gorgeous. And I'm not the type of person that usually likes comedy. So, I don't really enjoy comedy that much. So when there's a lot of comedy, they're usually not my favorite episodes. But in this episode, everything worked perfectly. So in this episode, we had like this premise in which Lulu was the main character because everyone else was busy. So Lulu went on to go shopping and she met Emiru in the middle of the way. Emiru was not simply Emiru. She was Cure Emiru, and even the pronunciation of her name when she's a Cure is different. She is giving a little twist to her name to pronounce it differently when she is acting like a Cure. And so the Precures impacted her so much that she wanted to become one herself. Like, becoming a hero is kind of like her dream. And, by putting it there, it would be enough to make out some pretty interesting scenarios. But not only that, they gave us color, they gave us great faces, reactions, and cartoonish faces, and a great animation to go with. But it's interesting to notice that this is not an animation in like the style of the fourth episode. We're talking about a simple animation. There was nothing very extravagant in this episode, but everything worked out so well because they did it very in such a different manner. And it's like they're playing with their weaknesses because I don't think that this episode had like specifically big budget or a different budget than the other ones. It seems that it was a regular episode. They just knew how to work well with everything they had, and it was brilliant. That scene with Emiru following Lulu while saying things that might happen to Lulu, and Lulu was in danger, and everything happening to Emiru, that's pure gold. I adored that scene. Emiru's reactions, they were so great. And then we had that amazing scene in the supermarket, Lulu being able to get the eggs, and the sounds in that, they were very video game style, and I was living for it. I was living for every single second of that scene, and Lulu there, getting the things she needed, and Emiru trying to help everyone around her. And I really liked that, in the end, Emiru couldn't really help anyone, but everyone got happy with her actions. And that's really something important, and that's something that Precure usually validates a lot. You trying to help people and you're trying to make people smile is probably the most important thing that you can do to make a better world around you. And that's something that's usually done in Precure, and I think that this episode showed it beautifully. And Lulu doesn't understand this kind of thing, but at the same time, she praised Emiru for it. She praised Emiru for, getting her feelings across towards people that she didn't know. And because of that, Emiru felt like she was enchanted by Lulu and wanted to take Lulu to her house. And we were able to see Emiru's house. But before that, we saw like one of the best scenes was when Emiru went under that child's thing. I don't know how to say that in English. That big octopus, and then she went under it and she changed her costumes. But before that, we had some Super Mario references there with the canes, and she going out of the canes. I was like, girl, come on, this is really, really good. And I loved it so much. You guys have no idea. I was living for this episode. I am still living for this episode because that was amazing. And when we got to Emiru's house, it was interesting the way they presented her parents and how different her brother is from everyone else in the family, because they are all eccentrics, and I was living for it again. I loved her parents, you know, they were very out there, and her brother is like more of a simple person. He's more contained. And when I saw her brother, I thought, oh, he might be a good character. He might be someone that's gonna be impressive. He might be someone that's gonna add something nice to the series. I was completely wrong. And then Emiru took Lulu to her bedroom, and then they started talking. And it's interesting because song is something that's kind of like something that everyone knows about. It's hard to meet someone that doesn't know what a song is and what music is, but Lulu didn't. And well, we know Lulu is not human, so that would be understandable, but the fact that she doesn't know what a song is kind of strange. It's kind of strange. And even though she's an android, I mean, she knows lots of things. She has lots of information, and she has access to any information she wants when it's not something that involves emotions, when it's something, what's the word? It's not obvious. I forgot the word, but it's not something that involves emotion, a direct thing, you know, something, it's not obvious. Oh my God, it's in the point of my tongue. We say that a lot in Portuguese. It's just here, but I can't remember it. Anyway, when she went there, she didn't know what a song was, and then Emiru was able to show a little bit more of herself with her guitar. And that's something that's hidden. I didn't understand why, but that scene was also something that I was not expecting to see. You know, Emiru presenting herself and singing for Lulu. It was great plot-wise, but it was also great, like visually, it was stunning. It was so nice, and it's such a representation of who Emiru is. I mean, how over the top she is, and how crazy she can go with the things that she has and the things she loves. And, you know, I just adored it. I loved it so much. You guys have no idea. And then she was able to sing to Lulu, and Lulu was feeling emotions again, and that hurts her. I'm really curious to learn more about Lulu's origins, because she's able to feel emotions, and when she does, it hurts her. Does it have something to do with her backstory or not? It's just because she's not supposed to feel them. I don't know, but I'm very curious. And then it was beautiful. And then when her brother came, and he presented himself as kind of a villain, I think, because he didn't like Emiru playing the guitar, because it makes her feel like not as polished as she should, being part of the Aisaki family. Another thing that makes my heart like beat even faster was when Lulu confronted him. Because Lulu is very analytical. She is very analytical. She doesn't put emotions into her thoughts, and his discourse has no analytical view. I mean, there's no analytical view there, because saying that a girl cannot play a guitar makes absolutely no sense. And we know that, but you know, there are stereotypes, and there are lots of stereotypes involved with girls, especially when it comes to some instruments that are not very feminine, that are not considered very feminine, like a guitar, like rock music, and some people might get put off a little bit. So it's very believable having a brother like that. He's an asshole. Let's just say it like this. He's an asshole, but unfortunately that's believable, because we have lots of assholes in our world. Sorry for the bad word. And so Lulu confronted him, and I was like, yes, girl, yes, girl. Oh my God, I loved that. And Emiru felt so happy because Lulu was able to confront her brother and to show the passion that she has for the guitar. I was like, I am also living for that scene. And then we had another scene in which Papuru attacked, and let me just say, Papuru girl, for the first time, you were not the best point of the episode. You had the back seat in this episode. I am so sorry, because you were like secondary. You were always a protagonist for me, but in this episode you were secondary. But even though she was still living. She was still amazing. And then Paparu was there. She attacked, and then the cures appeared. And obviously, Emiru wanted to feel like a superstar. She wanted to feel like a hero, not a superstar, but a hero. And she was there, and she tried to help this little kid, and it worked. You know, she was able to help this kid, and she was able to save him. And you know, I felt like that scene was very special for Emiru, because she was able to feel like she can be a hero. She can be someone that can help other people. And you know, that was really nice. That was really nice. And obviously the cures were secondary in this episode as well. The three girls were very secondary in this episode, but they were able to defeat the monster easily. I mean, they're being able to defeat the monsters like this in this season. And then with this new power at least. And then we had another amazing scene with Lulu and Emiru. And Emiru, she really picked up that they work very well together. We have like two different people that complement each other perfectly. Emiru is a person who works only on emotions. She has no reason in her actions. She has basically no reason in her actions. She only gets the gears that move her are only based on emotions. And then we have the opposite with Lulu. Lulu is only reasoning. She is only moved by reason and by analytical thinking. And they're very different because of that, and they worked so well together in this episode. And obviously, for me, the best scene in this episode was when Emiru gave Lulu a cure name, Cure La I don't even know. And that was golden. And then we had the Puri Cure from the opening mixed up in those scenes, and both of them as kind of like special appearance, probably like being cures. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm seeing this. This is great. This is such a great scene. I loved that scene so much. That was my favorite because I laughed so hard with that. I lived, you know, for that scene. For me, like, oh my god, that was so good. That was so on point, and the comedy was so on point as well. Every joke landed and everything worked. And when Lulu, she simply refused, and then she was just running away from Emiru. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was brilliant. And now Paparu was watching Lulu from afar, and she saw Lulu was kind of strange. She was kind of different. And what is she up to? Because in this episode, I think Lulu was able to feel lots of emotions, and we didn't really see much of Lulu as a villain, like last episode. We didn't see much of her as a villain. We saw Lulu as someone who is potentially becoming more and more human, and that's dangerous for the Corp. That's very dangerous for the Corp. So I think Paparu is gonna start a plan here. She is gonna start a plan. Other things to notice about this episode was the amazing scene between Saya and Homare. They were both talking, and it's nice to see that they're not excelling at what they're supposed to do. I mean, Saya's failing probably every audition she takes in. Homare is having a hard time landing her jumps, and you know, it's nice seeing the main characters fail like that, because sometimes we have like such talented people as the main cast of Precure. They can do everything, they excel at everything they do, and it's nice that we have some characters that are not exactly like that. Another scene that was very nice was when HUGTTO was learning the names of the girls. That was so cute, and I loved it. It was, you know, such small bits here and there that added more and more life to the episode. And obviously some scenes of our main characters, but I loved that Hana took a backseat in this episode. I absolutely loved it. And we're talking about a season that is focusing a lot on Hana as the main character. You know, she is the main character every single time in every single episode. So we have a Saya episode, Hana is very important. We have a Homane episode, Hana is very important. Any episode, Hana is a centerpiece of the episode. And in this episode, she took the back seat. I adored it. And it's nice because Duo, we have this great duo, Lulu and Emiru, and they both are very they work so well together that I think that they can take like the main stage for this season. And we kind of know that's what's gonna happen in the middle of the season, but I think Emiru can really take like the main part together with Hana because they work very well as very charismatic protagonists. But I loved that Hana took the backseat in this episode, girl. It was about time. And it's been a while that since we had a season in which we had like the main character shining like the only main character. You know, it's been a while. I don't remember. I think Doki Doki was the last, and we're having it again with HUGTTO. That's at least that's how I'm feeling HUGTTO so far. It's not exactly a problem because I think that Sai and Homare are being developed nicely, but I think Hana is really taking like even more of the spotlight than past protagonists. And I loved that she took a backseat in this episode. And let me just say, I think that now Emiru is probably becoming my favorite. Emiru is probably becoming my favorite, and I want her to play more of the guitar to rub it in the face of the ridiculous brother of hers. Rub it in his face, girl. He deserves it. I mean, I'm done with him. I hate him already. But I think that he's gonna become a nice character in the future. He's gonna learn how to deal with those things, and he is going to be purified of those bad thoughts that he is having. Anyways, guys, I know I've exceeded my time. I've exceeded my time. But you know, episode 15, what an episode. What an episode. One of the best in the whole Precure franchise. I am living for this episode forever and ever. I loved it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time. Bye bye.